As we vote no to feed the babies, we actually celebrate the preborn by insulting women doctors. Watch this. This is Representative Chip Roy of Texas speaking to two healthcare providers, two doctors. Watch this.
Are you aware of how many people have moved to the state of Texas in the last decade? Do you know what that number is?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I will say that the clinics that you're referring to are fake
4 million.
clinics and they don't actually
provide 4
provide
million
medical
people have
services.
moved to the state of Texas in the last decade. That's the population of the entire state of Alabama have moved to the state of Texas by choice in the last decade. I would move to one other question here. Ms. Robinson.
Could I finish my answer, though, about Texas?
I didn't ask you a question about that. Ms. Robinson, I would ask you a question. When is the latest that you have performed an abortion in terms of weeks of the unborn child?
Yes, my name is Dr. Robinson, and I provide abortion care in Alabama. So Alabama has...
What is the answer to the question, the latest that you have performed an abortion?
I'm going to answer your question. So unfortunately, my
weeks.
state is one of those states that has passed restrictions or bans on abortion care, which limits physicians like myself.
And therefore, in other words, you'd like to do it later. What is the latest you have performed an abortion?
So since I will always follow the law and I live in the state of Alabama, I provide abortion care up until 20 weeks gestational age.
Okay, so you performed an abortion at 20 weeks.
Yes, sir.
And the procedure for an abortion, when we're talking about at 20 weeks, as I understand it, is dilation and extraction. Have you performed abortions at that stage? And in doing so, have you had baby parts that you've had to discard or store in some capacity?
One of the things that you all have done
Legs, arms,
throughout
eyes.
this hearing is just use inflammatory language.
It's a question. Ma'am, it's a simple question. Have you had human parts, baby parts, arms, legs, as a result of an abortion performed at the time you just acknowledged you performed abortions?
I am a physician and a proud abortion provider. There is nothing that you can say
yes or no
makes it difficult for me to talk about the care that I provide.
Right. Somewhere between 16 and 22 weeks, a pregnant woman can opt in to have amniocentesis. Okay? And that is the test that diagnoses chromosomal abnormalities, neural tube defects, and some genetic disorders. But amniocentesis is invasive and it's risky with a chance of causing miscarriage. So many women wait to receive the results of the earlier screenings before deciding to undergo that particular test. So at 20 weeks, only 1.2% of all abortions are done. But the reason why, because, nobody delays having an abortion to 20 weeks. It's much more expensive, much, much more. Now you're talking about major surgery. And two, it's not for birth control. It's not for family planning. It's because your fetus is not going to survive outside your womb. And you will then be presented with a hellish choice. Either carry the fetus to term, knowing that the fetus will either be born in pain and suffering and likely not to survive, or have an abortion and live another day to have other children. It is hell. It is a pure hellish decision. A woman who has to make that decision is in the most unenviable position of having to deal with guilt, deal with a decision of life and death while she's able to feel her baby. And Chip Roy is asking, did you have baby parts? It is so sickening to hear them dismiss the kinds of decisions that women will make in their lives as mothers of living, breathing babies. I mean, the decisions you have to make as a mother, as a parent, these are crazy. And if you make the wrong one, you will sit there and beat the crap out of yourself for the rest of your life. Did you do the right thing by giving your kid the keys to the car and then somebody slammed into, and you'll sit there and you'll beat yourself. Oh my God, I should have said no. Or, oh my God, I should have done it differently. Or, oh my God. I mean, the idea that you can give this kind of question to a miscreant who's trying to score political points on a woman who just got the most horrific diagnosis about her pregnancy, which is only available between 16 and 22 weeks to even get to that point, to even know that, is so... I just want to punch him in his face, and I am so nonviolent, but I don't think I could be in a room with him and not get in his face in some way. I think I would go all Karen on him. I just do. I think I would just lose my marbles in front of that man. Now, I've been open. I've had an ectopic pregnancy. That happens very, very early. It happens when the egg doesn't implant in your uterus, but instead gets stuck in your fallopian tube and is growing to the point where your fallopian tube tears, it ruptures. And you will then become septic and die. And so you have 10 minutes basically from that point to getting emergency surgery to end that pregnancy. And that happened to me.